Tennant Minerals is an Australian mineral explorer with a strong track record of discovery in the Northern Territory's Tennant Creek region. Its major assets are the Barkley and Babbler copper-gold projects located around 45 kilometres east of the major copper-gold mineral field of Tennant Creek. Tennant Minerals is now focusing on the expansion and delineation of the greenfield Bluebird high-grade copper-gold discovery located within the Barkley project. Joining me is Managing Director Vincent Algar. Vincent, welcome to the Stock Network. Now, Vincent, how will Tennant Minerals use proceeds from the recently completed oversubscribed $4.8 million capital raising?
Our plans for the coming months towards the middle of the end of the third quarter really will be to get primarily into the field and drilling holes. I think the work that's been done by the team is very obvious in the announcement we made when we came out of the trading halt, announcing that we successfully raised this money to proceed with our exploration and our development plans. So you can see from the results in that announcement that we've had some very, very good drilling success in the area, some very high-grade copper and gold together in the ore body. So for us, it's really about going along and making sure we both understand the size and scale of what we've already found, which is significant, and then making sure that we utilize our 100% owned 5-kilometer long corridor that we're currently working within to make repeat discoveries of what we found at Bluebird. So it's a very exciting time. The funding is perfectly timed for us to get in the field. Field season is about to start, and we can get out there and actually bring investors home some more bacon on this particular issue.
Yes, now you did touch on those results. What were the key messages coming out of the recently completed early test work at Tennant Minerals Bluebird high-grade copper-gold discovery?
So we did some test work. We've had just before, I've only been with the company 2 months now, but working very, very well with the team that's achieved a lot. We sort of playing tag, if you like, in terms of growing the capability within the team, and the discovery team is still here working very hard on the next phase of drilling. But just before I arrived, that actually put some metallurgical diamond drill holes into the laboratory here, and those are primarily to see how we could recover copper and gold from those drill holes. And we sent 2 holes in. One was slightly higher up in the sequence, and one was further down. And we put the results out of the deeper one not long ago, a few weeks ago, and those showed that we could produce an excellent copper concentrate from the work that we've done so far. And that copper concentrate looks to be in the economic range if you really want to work on, and it's also picking up some of the gold. Maybe 60% of the gold's coming into that gold concentrate. So having been able to generate a 23 to 25% copper concentrate in this environment where we see there's a strong need for copper concentrates to be produced from very high-grade feed material and a very discrete geology, we can start working on that iterative process of understanding the geology and the metallurgy together, because that's the way we develop the project for going forward.
And Vincent, looking down the track a bit, what will a developed Barkley project entail?
Must remember that the Tennant Creek gold field produced over 5.5 million ounces of gold and 700,000 tons of copper. So it is a significant producer of copper and gold over time for Australia. And now that field is not exhausted by any means. We've seen other discoveries made by other companies in recent time where we know we can go back into this field, despite it having been mined over nearly 80 years of time. It's now new discoveries like Bluebird and Rover 1 are being made by other companies and ourselves. So it's about developing new mines in this area. And in a time when copper and gold, particularly high-grade copper and gold, are very much in demand, this is a field that can deliver significantly. So our work from now on in is about developing a resource base that will support a standalone operation that'll produce a copper and gold concentrate and possibly a gold doré product at the end of the day. And we think that the area that we're in, 100% owned by Barkley, by Tennant Minerals on the eastern side of the field, is an ideal location, 40-odd kilometres outside of the town of Tennant Creek, which is connected to road, rail and gas to the north and to the south. So we can really find an opportunity to bring a standalone operation into being. But first, we've got to do the groundwork of the drilling, the metallurgical work, the resource work, and the economic studies. But those are our plans over the coming months. And all of that begins with drilling holes in the ground to develop that resource base. And that starts as soon as we can get through the weather.
Fantastic. And Vincent, gold prices now are at record nominal dollar highs, while benchmark copper prices have rebounded since October last year. What factors do you think have driven these gains, and are they sustainable?
Certainly, I think we're seeing that move. A lot of commentary. I follow Robert Friedland on Twitter. I know that he talks his own book a little bit because he's got a lot of copper. But if you look at his fundamental analysis of copper supply, deficit in terms of shortfall, the way that the mills in China are acting on their copper supplies, shows you that we're just moving in. And copper is a very great indicator for economic activity. It's spot on in terms of timing. It's not necessarily a big leading indicator, but it's a great place to know that the world is getting better. And I read this morning in another result that we're seeing a demand in the US and in China for copper concentrates and copper products. So the world is getting better. It's coming out of the whole post-COVID thing. We're really getting going now, and copper is the core of that. It's copper moving up over about $4 a pound, with gold where it is. The joint economics of a copper and gold system are ideal for a company like ourselves to be working in with at Tennant.
Well, Vincent, that's a very positive note to finish on. Thank you, and all the best for Tennant Minerals plans.
Thanks very much, Dol.